be a few things that you need to teach, or if you're already in the business, think about these things that you need to do over and over again to transfer the skill and the attitude that you need to have to grow a very successful new life business. So if you give a few minutes, I want to share the screen with you. So what are those simple things we need to do every day or on a constant basis to grow our business? They're very simple things. First, there are essentially three things that people need to, let me just, there are three simple things that you need to do to become successful in the business. Anybody who joins the business needs to have these three simple things. Number one, you need to have a burning desire. What does that mean? It means that you need to have something in your soul, something in your heart, something in your mind that keeps you on the path to growing the business. This nobody can do for you. This is something that you have to personalize and make sure you have a very strong reason for doing the business. For example, when Betty and I started the business, our goal was to earn an extra $200. That is our goal. It's not something big. But 2 or 3 months after I understood what this business could do, I became obsessed about being able to leave my employer. Industry, I did not like what I saw. My boss had had a heart surgery. Some of the people in my office are having heart problems. A lot of them are having challenges with their homes. They are constantly away from their environment. So for me, becoming independent or being able to leave my job became a priority for me. That is a burning desire that was burning in my heart to build a business. I don't know what yours is. You need to think about, look at your life. What do you really want? That's the first thing. The second thing is this. You need to be teachable. That simply means you need to open yourself to learning what the business can do. Most people who join the business start with little or no experience, okay? And to be coachable, a number of things are important to be coachable. Number one is humility. Number two is the capacity to listen, okay? You need humility to realize that somebody else in the business or in your upline knows something you don't know. And to be coachable or to be teachable, you need humility. Number two, you need the capacity of a sponge. That means you need to open yourself to learning new things. And learning things or mastering them comes from repetition. You will notice that some of the things we do in the business are repeated over and over and over again. And the reason for that is so that we can learn and master those things. The third thing you need to have is the willingness to work hard. That simply means you need to be able to do what is necessary. I think one of the old philosophers of old said that if something is worth doing, it's worth doing badly. What does that mean? It simply means that just talk to somebody. Even if you do it wrongly, you'll make a mistake and learn from it. You just need to talk to people. So those are the three basic things for success in our business: a burning desire, being coachable, and willing to work hard. And working hard means talking to people. When you get new people started, you need to teach them to have the right frame of mind, because it's very important that when you start this business, new people need to know that it is their business. It is not their sponsor's business. It is their own business. And that comes from being told by your sponsor that, look, you're starting the business now. You've made a good decision. Let me go through these 4 points. Setting the right frame of mind. The first thing is you need to reaffirm their decision for getting started. I see somebody is excited, is writing on my screen. Okay, so you need to get the mental framework correct when somebody new is starting the business. The first, you need to reaffirm the decision to get started was the right one. when people get started, they pay their kids. Sometimes they're not sure, have they made the right decision? Self-doubt comes. When they hear negative thinking people, sometimes doubt can enter their mind. So you need to reaffirm that their decision they've made is the correct one. By telling them, look, you started the business. I want to tell you, you've made the right decision for yourself. I am going to help you grow your business. I will not do the business for you. I will guide you and help you to grow it. So the first step is reaffirm their decision for getting started. The second thing is they need to know that this business is theirs, not their sponsors. I remember when we started the business, our training leader, Johannes van Eden, used to tell us, if it's to be, it's up to me. He emphasized that so many times until Betty and I got it, that this business is our business and its success depends on what we do, not him. Okay? So they need to remember that it's their business, not their sponsor's business. And that means they need to take full responsibility for success. When they succeed, they're the ones who are going to be congratulated. When they fail, it is themselves. When they go on stage, it is not their sponsor who is going to be recognized. It is themselves who is going to be recognized. When Near Life pays, money will go into their bank account, not their sponsors. Okay, so it's their business, not the sponsor. The third thing, there are going to be challenges in this business. There is nothing in life that doesn't have a challenge. You need to tell new distributors their challenges are going to face in the business. And I'll cover this a bit more later during this presentation about the challenges you'll face. So it's important for them to know that they're starting a business, there are going to be challenges. What type of the challenges are they going to face? The next thing is reminder of the reason they started the business. Why is that important? Because when you start doing the business and when they start getting challenges, it's easy for them to forget why they started the business. What is their reason? What is their dream? Why did they start the business? If you met me, if you met Betty and I 3, 4, 5 months when we started the business, we knew exactly why we started. I wanted so badly to leave my employment because I did not like what I was seeing in my employment. The other thing is our family was growing and we needed more income. We needed more money because as the family grows, the needs of the family grows, most of the time it does not keep up with the income that you're getting. So those are the 4, if you need to mention to new distributors, these 4 things that helps them to have the right frame of mind of building the business. Number 1, reaffirm the decision that they made is a correct one. Number 2, it is their business, not their sponsor's business. Number 3, there are going to be challenges in the business. Everything that is worthwhile has challenges. In fact, I think these challenges are there to test whether you really believe in what you're doing. Okay? Then the last one is you need to remind them of the reason why they started the business. So those are very important things for people who are getting started. There are a few things I would recommend that you need to teach your people to do to become successful in the business. In the presentations we did on Monday and every presentation we do, and in the company literature, there are 3 things we do as daily success habits. 1, use the products. Number 2, share the business and share the products. Number 3 is personal development. Those things we need to do every single day. Let's go to the practical aspects of what this means. When people start the business, the first thing you need to teach them is how to tell their story. Why is that important? It is important because people easily relate to the stories they hear. One of the most powerful ways for teaching people is through stories. Some of the books that I've read that have really had a profound influence in my life is, of course, the Bible. Number 2, there's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's an excellent book, and it's told in a story format. The other one is The Greatest Networker in the World. It's also told in a story format. And when you read those books, you actually become a participant in the events of that book. That is why it's very important when new people start, teach them how to tell their stories. How do you teach them? There are 4 elements of telling a story. Number 1, how life was before they joined New Life. What was going through their lives? Number 2, how they came to join the business, how they joined. Number 3, the benefits they have enjoyed from joining New Life, either product or income. Okay, this should be or income, product or income. And number 4, how the future looks like in New Life. All right. So if I was a new distributor, and this is how I would tell my story. You know, when Betty and I came to South Africa, I came to work and to study because I knew the path to becoming successful was getting more education. So I enrolled to do a postgraduate course, and I spent additional $4,000 and 2 more years to get a postgraduate course. But when I finished, there was not a single increase in my salary, and that really frustrated me. Secondly, when we came to South Africa, we had 3 children. In fact, our 3rd born was born 8 days before we came to South Africa. And you know, when the family is growing, the needs of the family is growing. Unfortunately, the salary that we earn does not keep up with the needs of the family. So Betty and I thought about doing different things to earn an income. The other challenge we had is that Betty couldn't get a job. At that time, most schools were either Afrikaans speaking or English. So it wasn't easy for her to get a job. So when we saw the business for the first time, Betty went for the presentation and she came and told me, I think it's something we can do. She didn't know the details. What I asked was, how much money does it need to start the business? She told me 425 Rand. I said, look, we are broke anyway. Let's see if this thing works or not. At least if we try, we could succeed. Even if we fail, we know we tried. That's how we got started. And it took us 2 days to decide. And when they brought our kid, I looked at the idea and explained the idea, and immediately I understood what the business meant. I was so excited. For 3 nights, I couldn't sleep because I thought about the possibilities of what the business could do. The first 7 months, we worked very hard, and within 7 months, I equaled my salary. And that is what really excited me. I realized if I keep putting the effort, I would be able to actually leave my employment. We built this business. After 3 years, what we're earning from the business was 3 times my salary, and I fired my boss. That is what really gave me the joy of building this business. It helped me to become independent, to be able to leave my employment. We've had fantastic benefits from the products. One of our children has got sickle cell, and because of the products, his frequency of having bouts of sickle cell crisis reduced. So we've had incredible benefits from this business. How does the future look like? The future I see in this business is so bright, I need sunglasses to see the future. Why? Because there are so many people on our African continent who are looking for opportunities to grow their lives, to change their health, to change their financial future. And this business is a perfect vehicle to make them being able to change their lives. That is how I would tell my story. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes to tell that story. And to be able to do it, you have to practice it several times. So note those 4 things of telling your story. 1, how your life was before New Life. Number 2, how you came to join. Number 3, the benefits you have enjoyed since joining the business, either products or income. And number 4, how the future looks like. In fact, one of the ladies in Kenya, Salome Chemjor, is our brand new senior manager. She became a senior manager last month. So during our team recognition rally, I asked her how she become a senior manager. She said, you know, I use the products a lot. And because of the products, my health has really improved. And people were asking them, hey, Salome, what are you using? It looks like you're very healthy. Your skin is very smooth. What are you doing? And that's how she came to sponsor 2 new people and did over 500 personal PV. Why? Because of the telling her story about the product. So teach your new people how to tell their stories. The second thing is moving the products. Teach your new people to move products. How do they move products? the new move two products in two ways. Number one, personal use. Personal use simply means the products you use at home. If you don't use the products, your business won't grow. It's as simple as that. Why? Because who will believe you if you don't believe in what you're recommending? So the first thing is use the products. If you're new in the business, sit down, look at the products you use for cleaning, look at the products if you need supplements or if you need skincare products. I'm not saying you throw away, or if you'd like to throw away the product. One of the things that causes challenges in homes all over the world is using cleaning products you get from the supermarkets. They are not safe. I think Dr. Eseza Nambase has done a very fantastic presentation on the challenges that you get from using the cleaning products you get from other supermarkets, from whatever you get them from. Speak to your sponsor to look for that video by Dr. Eseza Nambase explaining what the cleaning products does to our health because of the use they in different homes. So use the products. That's the first thing. The second thing is share product stories. Sharing product stories simply means for you to have a product story, you need to use the products yourself. That's one. Number two, find somebody who has used the products and has got a fantastic story to share. If you do that, you will, first of all, increase the number of products you share because now you have some reference. And number two, you're able to get customers who buy the products because people believe what they hear from you than what they read in the newspapers. So teach your new people to move products by personal use, and number two, sharing product stories. That is very important. This will help you to reach 100 PV quite easily and quite quickly. Okay? So that is the second skill. The third skill is teach your people how to know other new people. Knowing people is a great skill. How do you do that? You do that by asking questions. When you ask questions, you need to learn how to ask not closed questions, but open-ended questions. For example, if I ask somebody, do you want money? Most people say yes or no. But if you ask somebody, you look a bit challenging. Is there something wrong with your health? You see, that is a question you can't answer with yes or no. That is a question that prompts the person to actually explain what's going on. So learn to ask the right question. Or if I showed you a way to generate additional income, would you be interested? That one is a closed question. You ask, yes, I'm interested. Then you say, okay, I would like to share some information with you. If I send you a video, would you be able to watch it? They will say yes or no. If they say yes, okay, I'm going to send you some information. Have a look at it. I will speak to you after you watch the presentation. Okay, so knowing people, look, there's a very deep human need to be known, but you need to know how to ask the right question. Don't just ask any question. Ask a question that prompts a conversation. Okay, for example, what do you do? That is a question you cannot answer yes or no. When you ask somebody, what do you do? They'll tell you, oh, but I work with so-and-so, or this is what I do. I'm running my own business. And then you ask, how is the business going? When you ask questions like that, it creates a conversation. And when you start a conversation, it's the process of knowing somebody. So teach your people how to ask the right questions. The next thing is teach your people how to share tools. What do I mean? If you're a distributor of Neolife, you would know that Neolife has developed a number of tools for sharing with our prospects. Or if you're a member of the Eagle team, whatever team you are, your upline leaders have developed tools, either videos or CDCs or magazines that you can give to people or to new people to share with your prospects. For example, Neolife has got a very short video, which is 2 minutes and 38 seconds. It gives it doesn't actually explain the business. It just gives you an idea about Neolife, a company with excellent products that helps us to grow our business. That is a tool you can share with your prospects. And then there's a series of short videos, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3.5 minutes, that have been developed by Neolife. If you go to the latest lifestyle magazine of the company, in fact, get hold of the electronic magazine. You will find in one of the pages, it refers you to some of the tools you can share with your distributors to help them build a business. Why do I insist on tools? Because the tools have been professionally done. You don't need to have a lot of experience to share the tools. If you have a new prospect and he's interested in the business and they want information, I said, let me share with you this video. If I send it to you now, will you be able to watch it? They'll say, yes, I'll be able to, or no, I won't have the time. Okay? So learn how to share the tools by asking questions if the prospect will be able to share the tools. Use the tools for your benefit so that your business can grow. Sharing the tools is something anybody who is even 2 days old in the business can do. The other thing you need to teach your people is how to follow up with prospects. They need to have a very simple system on, if you speak to somebody now, the next thing is either 24 hours or even the same day after they have watched the presentation, you need to follow up with your prospect, either to find out, one, if they understood the business concept. If they did, the second thing is ask them, what did they like about the presentation, the products or the business, or a little bit of both? Number three, if they like the products, ask them if they would like to be part of this business. And that leads you to asking them to get registered in the business. So, and the reason this is important is the average person will say yes to the business after 5, 6, 7, or 8 times of being exposed to join the business. But the unfortunate thing is that I think most of us, I know this about myself. When I started the business, if I show somebody the business, I expect them to say yes immediately. Just the way Betty and I said yes. It didn't take a lot of time for us to decide. So you need to learn how to follow up by realizing that it takes 6 to 7 or to 8 sharing of the business for somebody to say, yes, I want to join the business. That means you need to have a very simple but consistent way to follow up with your prospects. Have something like a funnel. A funnel is something, you have a lot of prospects that only few of them will actually join the business at the end, but you need to follow up with each of them. Some will fall by the wayside. They will tell you they're not interested, maybe the 3rd, the 4th, or 5th time. Some will say they want to think about it. Some will say, give me time. People have got all sorts of reasons to avoid making that decision, but you need to keep at them and have a follow-up system. And then the last thing you need to do is teach your new people how to use the system. What does that mean? Teach them how to invite for the business presentations. Teach them to attend all functions. Teach them to attend training events, monthly recognition rallies. Anytime there is an event, make sure you teach them to use the system. The system also involves books, CDs. The system also involves that people who are excited about the business. Your personal enthusiasm is part of the system. Okay? So teach your people how to use the system. I alluded to about the challenges in the earlier part of this presentation. These are some of the challenges each new person, whether you're old in the business, you're going to face. Okay? The first one is discouragement. This is something that every single distributor who joined the business goes through. So you need to let your new people know that they're going to have challenges. They'll get discouragement from their friends, from their relatives, sometimes even from our spouses. Okay? Negative thinking people who don't have dreams, people who don't, even when you show them the evidence that this thing works, they will not join the business. Watching of news, reading newspapers. I remember I told one person who had just started the business that, look, you need to avoid news. They're quite surprised. Why do I need to avoid news? Because news is negative. Simple as that. Okay? So you need to guard your mind from discouragement. Discouragement is actually, I think, is one of the leading causes of people failing in the business. And you can avoid discouragement by, number one, attending functions. Number two, reading positive books. Number three, keeping company with people who encourage you to go after your dreams. Don't keep company with people who discourage you all the time. Remember, it is your dream, and when it is achieved, you are the one who benefits, not the people who discourage you. I remember when Betty and I started, one of the first few people I invited to see a business presentation was my colleague at the office. So we went for the meeting. After the meeting, he turned around and said, Pascal, you're an engineer and you're selling soap. I really felt devastated. And when I went and I shared with my sponsor, Johannes van Nieden, he burst out laughing and said that actually now you're on the right path to grow in the business. After 7 months, when I equaled my salary, I told them, well, at least with the soap I am selling, I have a source of income which is equal to my salary. Okay, so discouragement is going to turn. It's reinventing the wheel. This is important because our business is very simple. It's not a complicated business. If you're a distributor, learn how to build a business simply. Don't try and invent new things. Our business is very simple. Use the products, we share the business, share the products, and develop yourself. That is what we do all the time. So don't reinvent the wheel. It is a simple business. Number three, you're going to face rejection. You're going to face rejection from people you know. You're going to face, think about this. You started the business, you're very excited. You share this business with a person at your office or your relatives or your neighbor, and you tell them you're going to be wealthy through this business. And they say, I know you can't teach us how to be wealthy. You will face rejection. So be ready for it. Number four is called the greener pasture syndrome. The greener pasture syndrome, people think that this business is easier somewhere else. I know maybe people in South Africa will say that this business is easier in Nigeria. People in Nigeria will say this business is easier in Kenya. People will say that this business is easier, whatever it is. It's always easier somewhere else, not your own. Or you see another kind of business and you're told this business is just like New Life, but it's better. You will always face this greener pasture syndrome. The thing is, if you look at somebody's loan, which is more than his need, remember somebody took time to mow the lawn and to cut it and to look after it. Look after your business. If you look after it, it will reward you. Number five, poor relationships in the team. This is something I cannot overemphasize about our business. You need to learn how to have good relationships in your team. The first thing is you need to have integrity. Okay? Number two, always think about that you need to make it your mission to make sure the people in your team become successful fast. You don't have to worry about your own success. Okay? Make sure the people in your team benefit fast before you do. If you always have in mind that the people in your group are the ones who should benefit, you don't have to worry about your success. Okay? So the last thing I want to take about challenges is tell new people, this business is full of ups and downs. When you started, you're very excited about the business. At some point, you will hit a bump, something will happen. A very simple indication, tell your people, when you start the business, you're excited. Sometimes challenges will come. When I don't see you in meetings, I know you're going through a rough time. When I call you and you don't answer my phone, something is happening to you. Ask them, if you're going through a challenging time, would you like me to call you or to give you some space? That is very important so that you establish the boundaries under which you mentor people. Everybody has challenges. Even 5-diamond directors like Charlie, they have challenges. Just learn how to deal with your own challenges, your business will grow. Okay? And the last thing I would like to share with you is the power of events. Why are events very important? At the moment, I think there is tomorrow and the day after, the day after, there's going to be rallies in Uganda. Charlie Bolton is in Uganda with the Eagle team. If you're in Uganda, this is my advice to you. If you want to make it to Mauritius next year, make sure that you, together with everybody in your team, attend this meeting. Why do I say so? From my own experience. One, Betty and I started in 1996. The first big event that Betty and I went to was in July 1996. It was in Bloemfontein. It was, I think it was either the free enterprise system or one of those leadership meetings. We went and there was 5,000 excited people. I saw people on stage, people from so many different backgrounds, diamond directors, 4 Ruby directors. At that time, our leader was Johannes van Nieden. He had just become a 3 Ruby director. And his income was 2.5 times my salary as an engineer. And I said, if this guy can do it, let me learn and see what he can do. I became so excited about the event, I actually forgot that people in that meeting were all distributors. I started picking names of people. I would introduce myself, take their phone numbers. And then Betty whispered in my ear and said, you know, all these guys are distributors. Don't pick the names. I was so excited. When we came back, it took us 2 months to become directors. Another 2 months, we had taken our first step, Sapphire directors. 5 months later, we had become 1 Ruby directors, and we were on our way to San Francisco to attend the World Convention, where we went to the Natural Formulas Laboratory, where the health supplements are made. We saw all that technology. The room where the products are made is oxygen-free. Everything is automated. Betty and I met Dr. Arthur Fast, the founder of the Scientific Advisory Board. And why? Because of that event. That event completely changed our thinking. It changed our attitude. We became really fired up in business. So I would encourage you, wherever you are, whenever there's a meeting coming, make sure you and everybody in your team attend this event. The people in Uganda, make sure you don't miss the weekend rally that Charlie is going to. The people in Nairobi, make sure you don't miss the Inuka Summit, 19th of August at KICC. Don't miss that event. The people in South Africa, the 14th of October 2023, the Southern Africa Convention. The people in East Africa, 28th October, don't miss the convention. In fact, Fred Gichuku reminded me, if you're in East Africa, if you're in Kenya, give 18,000 shillings to make sure you book for your transport, you book the event, you book for accommodation, and you attend that convention. You will see the power of events. In fact, a very simple way to build your structure, every big event, if you're a senior manager or a director, make sure you go at least 7 legs attending that meeting. If you do, you will find that 2 or 3 people in each leg are going to make the commitment to build this business. And that's how you become successful. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for attending this meeting with us. Rather,